Hey everyone, welcome to 3x3 Tricks episode 2. Today I'm going to be talking about G-perm AUFs. Okay, so quick disclaimer before I get into the tricks. These tricks only work for the RUD G-perms. These ones. So if you use different algs, then these won't work. Okay, first trick, and this applies to all 4 G-perms, and I'll show them all, starting with GA-perm. If you have the headlights on the back and the block over here, obviously, and notice that if you would just rotate, you'd have no AUF. But obviously, don't rotate during peel. That's bad. If you do a U prime, finish the alg, you have to finish with the UD prime. That's not bad, but there's something better you can do. If you do a wide U prime, you're gonna skip both the AUF and the ADF. As you can see, I'm finishing the alg. I'm done. I don't need to do neither the last D move or last AUF. And the inverse also applies for the GB perm. You have the bar over here, headlights in front. You can start with the wide U move. Then when you finish the alg, you'll skip both the AUF and the last D move. Here's the GC perm with headlights in front and the bar over there. And lastly, here's the GD perm, headlights on the back, bar over here. Note that these cases only work from the angles I showed. For example, this GD perm, if I had it from this angle instead of this angle and tried to do the trick, I'd finish with a D2, which isn't even better. These tricks took okay cases, turned them into slightly better cases. Now here's a trick that's actually pretty useful. This is a GA perm with both the U2 pre-AUF and post-AUF. Doing the alg normally would look like this, and you can finger trick it better, but it's pretty bad. Instead though, you can start with a wide U2, and then after the alg, instead of D prime, you have a D, and D is way better than U2 D prime. This also works for other G perms. For example, this one. This is a GB perm, headlights on the right, block over here. You can start with a wide U2. And then for the last move, you have a D prime instead of a U2D. Again, here's the GD perm. Works the exact same way. And finally, here's the GC perm. Usually for this case, I just do the R2 F2 alg, but you could also do wide U2, G perm, the fish with the D prime. But you won't always get these cases with the headlights exactly opposite where you want them. Sometimes you can get this. This is just a GA perm with the U2 AUF. For most cases, a U2 AUF isn't that bad, but for the G perm, because you finish with a D prime, your hands are like this. You need to use this finger for the D prime, so you have to hold the key with your middle finger, so you have to do the double flick with your right hand. But your right hand isn't in position to do a U2, so you actually have to re-grip to do this U2. Fortunately, I have a solution. You start the alg normally, do this. Notice your middle finger's on the bottom here. You can't do U2 with your right hand or with your left hand. But what you can do is do this. With your right hand, pinch this U, and with your left hand, use your middle finger to do an E move. So you do a UE at the end to finish, like this. Here it is, faster. This also works for the GC perm. Here we have headlights on the left, bar in the back, with the U2 AUF afterwards. So you're going to start our alg, and then finish with the opposite move. So this time it's going to be a U prime with your left hand and E prime with your right hand, like this. Even though this isn't as good as the GA perm one, because the GA perm saves the regrip and this one doesn't, I still do like this more than this. For the GD perm, this works too, although again, it doesn't really save you that much because the U2 isn't that hard. You do this, and then finish the UE. Unfortunately, this doesn't work well for the GB perm, because if you try to do this, your hands aren't really in position to do U prime, E prime. That's it for today's episode of 3x3 Tricks. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, or if you learned something new, then please leave a like and subscribe because that helps me out a lot, and I'll see you in the next video.